The Mr. Scruff drawing style started probably in the mid-80s when I was aged about 15, just doodling on school books and English lessons and maths lessons. I've always drawn cartoons since I was about 4. You know, it's quite nice still being able to be daft and a bit stupid at 36 years of age. I first met Moose probably about a year or so ago. He was stage managing a few festivals I worked at, and because I think we had this common bond of music and art and just being quite relaxed and daft and, you know, both full of a lot of different ideas, we just clicked straight away.
He loved the music I released on my record label, and we just became quite pally, really.
So we got chatting over a beer, and he was like, well, why don't we do a large fish on a hill? What started out as a kind of a bit of album promo just ended up being, yeah, let's try a bit of kind of, you know, in inverted commas, monumental art on the side of a field, and, you know, kind of entertain people a bit while they're stuck in traffic jams. It was quite a challenge, him, you know, coming from a street art thing and doing it in the middle of the country. Neither of us have done it before, and we gathered up a crew of about 8 people. Yeah, and, you know, picked possibly one of the worst days of the year so far, weather-wise, you know, to be on a hill in the middle of Yorkshire, and just got stuck in.
The fish image that we got off Andy, if we just put it flatly down on the hill, would have looked very small. So my good friend and colleague, George Richardson, who is really the person who should be taking all the credit for this, because he's the one who sat down by his computer, worked out the rake of the land and how to, I think the word is anamorphically map the fish onto the side of the hill. So this is the fish as it would be. If we were just shooting from directly above, that's what we'd need to make. And we made the fish by using this grid and mapping the route that the white material would follow. If you stretch that grid so that when you're looking at it, it's on a 30-degree angle or similar, this is what you need to make. So this is what we actually made on the hillside.
The perspective of doing something that's almost 100 metres long when you're on the ground and having to go about 3 miles down the road to have a look at it and then go back and make a few changes or whatever was quite crazy, especially when the original illustration it was based on took me about 4 seconds, you know, on a bit of paper like that. Pen, eyes, mouth, Bob's your uncle, there you go. We got soaked, but it came out really well, and we were both so relieved because the last half hour when we were just finishing it off, it was getting dark and pouring down, and Moose was going, oh no, this is going to be a write-off. And then, you know, the last 15 minutes it all came together, and yeah, great team of people. We had a good laugh, and yeah, we had a lovely, you know, made a lovely fish on the hills in Yorkshire.